You have to believe that you have it. No, hold on a second. You don't have to believe, you just have to affirm. But then why I tried all of these things and I still don't have my manifestation? I'm sorry you guys, I'm laughing, but because reality, truth, knowledge, it really stands in the middle. And today I want to break some sweet truth about manifestation, which I'm going to make an extra additional video on my Patreon. If you guys are not signed on my Patreon, link is down below. But let's get started with today's video. What you should do about this belief, okay? Let's start. Okay, you guys, hello, my name is Naya. If you're new on this channel, I talk a lot about manifestation, esotericism, and so much more. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss a live, because I go live here on YouTube quite often, and so we can do coaching together. I can answer your questions, we can talk about these sweet things, so remember to subscribe. Anyway, so there is so much confusion, seriously, and because many people in the spiritual community, since the law of attraction got popular, so around the 90s, they kept saying you have to believe that you have it, you have to believe that you have it. Now hold on, stay until the end of this video, because I know that many of you know law of assumption. You're like, you don't have to believe, it's just an assumption. However, you also guys get tripped up. Yes, you do, because even though you know that necessarily you don't have to believe it beforehand and you just have to affirm or whatever other method you're trying to do, you still didn't get exactly what you wanted, and you're still wondering about how can I imprint my subconscious mind, which honestly, you guys, is the same thing as saying I have to believe it before I have it. You guys don't understand. Sometimes there is this fight between law of assumption and law of attraction, and you guys are fighting literally about the same exact things, and you don't even realize it, because these are just words, and words, to be honest, and even affirmations in and of itself are empty if you don't understand what you're doing. And that's my take. Obviously, take it with a pinch of salt. Everything that I say come from my personal experience and the experiences that I had with my clients and people that I generally coach in my life. But now I'm not doing coaching anymore, but you know, I'm coaching even here on YouTube, but you're literally arguing about the same thing, because to say that you have to imprint your subconscious mind with thousands of affirmation is exactly like saying you have to believe it before you have it, which, to be honest, is stupid in nature. I'm sorry to be straightforward. You cannot believe totally in something unless you have it in reality, because we're human beings. Yes, we are spiritual creatures having a human experience, but we're dealing with this 3D reality, which is real, by the way, 24/7. I have made a video about the concept of time and why time is real in the 3D, and probably I should do another video about why reality is actually real, because you guys, sometimes it's okay to live in the Lululand. That works good if I do it every day, but sometimes we go to an extreme, from an extreme to another. We think that reality, then it's not real because we live in the Lululand and therefore we manifest. No. Let's break it down. Again, if I can, I'll do a Patreon video where I explain more about this. Reality, 3D reality, matter is real. It's 100% real. If I cut myself, I bleed. You will eventually die. Now, your spirit, on the other hand, will go back home, and that's a completely different story. But you'll die. Just let's face it. If you cut, you burn. If you break a glass, you can try to repatch it. It will never go back to its original form, because in the 3D, time is real, because matter is real. So if you will study just briefly, generally, quantum physics, you will understand that there is this terminology that the observer collapses the quantum wave. But the quantum wave is not matter. The quantum wave has to be observed in order to become matter. If you understand this, you understand manifestation. You understand everything. So reality is very much real, but in the quantum field, there are infinite film rolls. There are infinite possibilities of reality that don't exist physically, but still exist, we could say, virtually. Okay, you guys? So obviously, as a human creature, you cannot believe beforehand, because until you see it, you won't believe it. It's just the most natural and normal thing that a human being can say. I think if you say, I can't believe it before I see it, you're actually quite healthy. But what can happen? You can support reality. And what do I mean by that? Thoughts create reality. They take from the address, like your mind doesn't really store information. Your mind stores the address where the informations and memories are. So you can go in your mind, and with your thoughts, you can see in the virtual world, let's call it virtual, in the quantum field, where all of your desires are. It's what Plato back in the day in ancient Greece used to call the world of ideas. This world, it's not matter, it's a thought. Actually, is a thought form, is an egregore. So once a desire is created, if you do your affirmation, great, that's exactly what you should do. You are creating a thought form, a powerful thought form, and you are addressing this thought form in the quantum field, in the alternative space where it is. You have the address of your desire, and in your head, you go virtually to that desire that is in the alternative space in the quantum field, okay? There you go, you guys, there you go. Until like up to here, we got it, right? But that desire, that it's a possibility in the alternative space, it's real but not real as we mean it in 3D reality, has to be collapsed, has to be observed long enough to become matter. Now, why and how it becomes matter, I don't know. And I think nobody knows until now, because science didn't get there, or even spirituality up to a certain extent didn't really explain it. And to be honest, you don't need to know why and how the things is going to collapse into matter. You just have to try this method, this thing, and see that it works, and that's it. And appreciate the fact that you can compose your reality, you can create your reality, because this is exactly how it works, or at least what I'm trying to explain is very close to the truth of how it works. Because I really honestly do believe that we never will know 100, or maybe we can't know exactly now 100% why this works, but we can get close to the truth of the matter. So where you create this thought form, you do the affirmation, I have the money, I'm rich. Let's give an example. I have the money, I have the money, or I have the house, I have the house, I have the house. And you do the visualization. Maybe you see yourself in the house. You do good old Neville Goddard techniques. Great. Okay? What is happening there in your mind is going to the address. It's telling you the address of that reality in the virtual space. Now it has to be collapsed. And in order to be collapsed, it has to be observed long enough. And that's where all spiritual people, and apart from the people who understand this law, which are very few around the web, I think, but they will tell you, you don't have to believe it beforehand. And the people that will tell you this, they know exactly what they're saying. But then you end up confused, because you're like, oh, I have to observe it long enough. I have to imprint my subconscious mind. And you go into this route, which is like the same thing as believing beforehand. And you essentially get confused. You gotta do the affirmation, right? I have the money, I have the house, I have the house, I have the house, I have the ESP, whatever, right? But then you have to support this reality throughout the days, because it's all about balance. So instead of going, I have it, 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 weight loss is actually a great example for this. I'm already at the weight that I want. I'm already at the weight that I want. I'm already at the weight that I want. Then you will look at yourself in the mirror. You're not there. Reality is freaking real, and you waver and you doubt, because you're going to one extreme, from one extreme to another. So you have generated a thought form. Now you have to support, which is observing long enough, this thought form with, like, Vadim Zealand calls them thought markers. I would say with thought supporters. What do I mean by that? You have created the thought forms, you know where it is, you have to collapse it into reality. I'm the weight that I want, or I have the house, I have the house. And then every day, what you should do, yes, repeat that, but don't try to believe it, because you're not gonna get there. You don't have it yet, right? Don't try to imprint your subconscious mind, which is exactly as trying to force a feeling or force to believe. I'll get to the point, I swear. But do this instead. Everything that happens in your reality supports your manifestation. You have thought support. So let's say that all of a sudden you lose you're manifesting a new house, you lose your house, or something happens, you get evicted, whatever, or you lose the money to get a new one. You will look at that, and instead of freaking out and going from one extreme to another, you will scream, advantage. This is happening because my manifestation is coming to me now. Every day it's coming to me. Every day it's coming to me. Now the brain, the 3D brain which you have, can accept. Your brain cannot accept to believe something so vividly when it's not manifested yet. It cannot. It's very hard for the majority of people. Now, for a short amount of people who live 100% in Lululand, they can totally do that. I'm one of them, but is everyone made the same? Probably not. And even if I am in Lululand, I still have these moments where I want to doubt, like I don't see it. Why? Because my brain was made to understand 3D reality, which again is very much real. So do not fight it. Never fight your mind in this way, because that is the definition of opposing thoughts. That is the definition of resistance. If you're trying to fight reality with something that is not yet collapsed, that's not observing the reality that you want. That's creating effort. That's creating, again, resistance. It's like fighting your own self, which will end up in defeat. Trust me, you have to support the thought form. You have to support and nurture the alternative space so it gets observed long enough and it collapses into reality. And the way you support it is not just by saying I have it, I have it, I have it, and then look in reality and don't see it and getting impatient. But it's by saying, and like again, weight loss is a great example for this. It's like saying I am already at the weight that I want. I'm already at the weight that I want. Weight loss or weight gain, whatever it could be your case. And then you'll look at yourself in the mirror, and rather than say I have it and hating the body and the reflection that the mirror gives you, you will say every day I'm getting there. Every day I'm getting there. And when you create these thought supports, they nurture the thought forms. And thought forms in esoteric knowledge, typically, even Aleister Crowley used to talk about this in a book that is called Ouija, where he talked about how to create thought forms with the Ouija board. It's a whole different topic for another video. It's very esoteric, leave it aside. And I'm not even a huge fan of Aleister Crowley in and of itself, but on this one was right. Typically, the way thought forms work is that they need to be nurtured in order to become reality or go and do things for you. So the way you nurture an energy thought form is by giving it thoughts and giving it energy and giving it support, exactly like you would do with a newborn. So think about your desire as literally you getting pregnant, doesn't matter your gender, and supporting, because we are talking about energy, not biology necessarily, and even there, but anyway, supporting reality. You support the baby in the womb, you support your desire, and you nurture it once it's born. And you do this with supporting thoughts. So you cannot give supporting thoughts if you're trying to believe beforehand that you have it. It's more deep than just say, oh, but if you assume that you don't have to believe it, then I create my own reality. Sure, easy, right? But how are you practically gonna do that? Tell me how you're practically going to do that. You still have to take some actions in the thought world. You have to take some actions, which is like supporting thoughts. Because yes, you can create whatever assumptions that you have, but assumptions are created when they're nurtured. It's exactly like everything else. So if you don't nurture a plant, it doesn't grow. If you don't nurture a baby, it dies. Same for your desire. They need to be supported so the thought form that you have created about your desire gets nurtured long enough, and then it collapses into what? Real 3D experience, which is real. It's matter. Those stuff in the alternative space, they're not matter yet. Okay? Now, there are many theories about this, even in the quantum world, where they say, no, actually, this reality it really exists somewhere in the universe, and that is the multi-world theory. I talked about it before. but it's not very likely. It's more likely that this reality actually exists in a quantum waveform, so in a virtual space. I actually do believe more that this theory, to be honest, and even their science didn't get there yet. He didn't even get close to what we were talking about, but just, you know, just to give you some reference. So anyway, practical thing, I have the house, nothing is happening in the 3D. Do not force belief. You don't have to believe it beforehand. You will only believe once you have it. But you can believe that you're getting there, right? You can. And you don't even need to think about how to imprint your subconscious mind and make your mind believe it. But you can totally believe. It's very likely for you that if you look everyday reality and you say, hey, every day I'm getting there. Every day I'm getting there. This creates so much less resistance. On an esoteric perspective, it nurtures the thought forms, like I explained you before. But even if you don't want to believe in any of the esoteric stuff that I talked about, it just makes more sense, isn't it? Because it doesn't create effort. It doesn't create resistance. Every day I'm losing weight. Every day my SP is coming back to me. And there you go. If you're starting to do this, and then even just with the affirmation, what is going to happen, and I can see through my clients that I meant in the coaching right now, they're having the same experience. So many of them, they're manifesting an SP, right? And so what happens, I give them the affirmation, I already have it, essentially. And they'll text me back after a couple of weeks, usually it's 2 weeks the mark. They text me back and you're like, oh, your SP text me all of a sudden, or this all of a sudden has happened. So, but it is not exactly what I wanted. It's not exactly my SP conforming yet, but it's like, it's still something, isn't it? Why are you wondering that? We did the work. It's been 2 weeks that you've been affirming for it. So not only, yes, you should say advantage. Yes, this is exactly happening because every day is coming, or they are coming closer and closer to me. Reality every day is conforming to me, right? But not only you should do that, but you should understand that by saying, oh, you know, he texts me or they text me, but it's yet, you know, am I doing something right? It's not yet exactly what I wanted. What are you doing over there? You're trying to control the script, which I made a separate video about. You cannot do, because you don't select the script. You don't. You select the reality when you and SP are together. You're selecting the reality where you have the money. You're selecting that reality, but the script is not up to you. Even Neville Gardner used to say this. The how is gonna get to you. It's not up to you. Refer to my video. You don't control the script. You don't need to know the how. So the only thing you should do in this instance is everything is your advantage. Everything, you should give this support thoughts every day. Support thoughts don't create resistance. You don't go to an extreme of I have it, oh my god, I'm freaking out, I don't have it. You stay in the middle. You don't get swayed by the pendulums, because reality moves in a pendulum form. It's even written in the 7 Hermetic Principles, by the way. Refer to my video how to master reality, the 7 Hermetic Principles, if you want to know more. And that's it, you guys. That's it. So belief, hold sweet belief. You will never believe it until you have it. You cannot, your brain wasn't made that way. Your brain was made to survive this matter reality. And your soul is a different topic, and it lives in symbiosis with this body. But reality is very much real, you guys. It's like, it's real. So don't fight your mind, don't fight reality. Compose reality according to everything that you're seeing that supports your desires. So everything is at your advantage. Everything is working out in your favor, no matter what it's happening. And if you do this, rather than going from one, like I said, from one extreme to another, you will doubt less, you will waver less, you won't listen to people who tell you to imprint your subconscious mind with different millions of techniques that are all the same. They all work. So I'm not saying they're saying necessarily anything wrong, but it's all the same. It's not about imprinting necessarily the subconscious mind. Yes, there are some, you know, Joe Dispenza have made a lot of talk about this, but honestly, it's just about observing your desire long enough, because it's not even in your head. Your desire is in the alternative space. Your head has the address of it. So you have to observe it long enough so it gets collapsed into matter. I hope I'm not too complicated. So what are we gonna do? First, we understand what we want. Once we understand what we want, we create a thought form. We know where it is in the alternative space, in the quantum field, and we affirm for it. Then reality is gonna, is gonna show us that we don't have it yet. We are not gonna force any belief, but we are going to give what? I wanna say it in the comment section. I wanna hear it from the class. We're going to do supportive thoughts, and supportive thoughts are advantage. Every day I'm getting what I want. Every day I'm getting to the weight that I want. Every day the house is coming to me. Every day SP is conforming, and so on and so forth. And we're going to observe everything in the point of advantage. If we don't find anything that gives us advantage, what are we going to do? We are going to pause the manifestation, which referred to my video, the Sabbath state. We're going to pause the affirmation because they're going to trigger us more if we do them, and we're going to shift our focus to something that makes us feel better for a while, and we're going to take action towards that thing that is making us feel better. Because if nothing is our advantage and we're getting freaked out, doing more affirmation can be exhausting and can cause even more resistant and opposing thoughts. The best thing, in my humble opinion, is to turn your head to whatever not advantageous thing is happening, focus on taking actions in some other direction that makes us feel good, and then when we feel better, redirect the supportive thoughts affirmation. No, this is my advantage. I have it. I will have it. Every day it's happening. Every day I'm getting more and more closer to it. And to conclude this video, which obviously is very long as usual, but if I say every day it's happening, then I'm assuming that I don't have it. And if I assume that I don't have it because I'm saying that every day I'm getting there, every day I'm going to get there, and I will never get there. No, it doesn't work that way. Because the way it works is, let's say that every day I'm healing better and better and better. Every day I'm more and more healed. Every day I'm more and more healed. What is going to happen? Every day you're getting better and better and better and better. And then there will come a point where you are actually fine. And when you will be actually fine, even for just a couple of seconds and for a day, your mind will believe that actually this has worked. And when your mind believes that it's worked, it will stay. That's it. Because yes, it's true that you have to believe it if you want to have it, but you can train yourself to that direction without jumping from one extreme to another. So no, it's not because you're saying every day you're gonna get it that you're gonna wait forever. You're gonna get it every day. You're gonna get closer and closer to it, and at some point it will collapse into matter, because esoterically speaking, you have nurtured that thought form with thought supporters, and once it collapses into matter, or you've seen something that actually happens, you'll start believing in it. And because you start believing in it, because it's real, then you believe in it, and then you have it. You understand? So don't try to force a belief. It doesn't work. It's stupid. Don't try to imprint your subconscious mind too much. Don't get too complicated. Do the affirmation, set your desire, set the thought form, and then only give thought supporters during the day. And when you get discouraged, shift the focus. That's it. That's it. That's it, you guys. Comment, let me know your thoughts. This really works. And if you don't believe me, just try it. Then come back and say, hey, actually it worked. That's the only proof that you need. It's to do it, really. I love you guys. See you very soon. Especially, I'm really looking forward to go live this week again and talk to you all, because it's my favorite time of the week. Love you guys. Subscribe and hit the ring bell button so you always get notified about my videos and my live. And I'll see you very soon on Patreon this week as well for our weekly video. Love you guys. Bye.